Welcome everybody to Extreme Off-Road Silly Builds, and today we're dealing with the 2013 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited DeBerti design. Now it has 1,140 horsepower, 952 pounds-feet of torque from a 6.5 litre supercharged V8 engine, and the vehicle itself now weighs 3,636 pounds. Came with these off-road tyres, off-road suspension and all-wheel drive as standard, and it can do 0 to 60 in 3.489 seconds, 0 to 100 in 6.556 seconds, and going to a top speed of 188 miles an hour. Now granted, this has a lot of off-road capabilities, and has an upgraded version of the Hellcat engine, which was also used in the Jeep Trailcat. But as we have seen with previous cars, vehicles that are necessarily designed for off-roading aren't always typically the quickest, either because the suspension is really rather soft and it doesn't give the best handling, or because you can't deal with the extra power, or generally because sometimes they're a little bit too much on the heavy side still, even though they have been lightened. Now granted, this doesn't weigh as much as other vehicles that have been on this series, but yeah, it's still quite heavy, and it has a lot of power granted, but not a massive amount of what it had originally, because it had 707 horsepower originally and about 650 pounds-feet of torque, I think. So yeah, not a massive amount of what it had originally, but combine that extra power with the additional lack of weight, because it weighs about 1,000 pounds less, should hopefully be good. It is certainly dealing with the off-road elements fine, but handling wise it's a little bit all over the place. We have a wall obviously, and it can doesn't generate the biggest amount of confidence in it at times. Suspension is ridiculously soft, but then again, it's not meant to be a hard, low-riding vehicle. It's meant to be high-riding and soft, so it can take the bumps, the jumps, and obviously, if we come up against any rocks, rock crawling, but that's obviously not what we're going to be coming against on this series. That is what it's meant for dealing with. Whoa! Whoa! Well, that's the first time we've ever had that. Well, that just shows how much suspension travel this car has, that it's able to roll over at high speeds like that. That's the first time we've ever had a car roll over that, really shouldn't do. And as a result of that rollover and obviously a crash that we had, we've not got the best of times, but it's still decent at 2 minutes 8 seconds, .155. Means that we don't join the high ranking vehicles on this series, but we're hardly close to the bottom, beating the likes of the Exomotive Exocet Offroad, which is another vehicle that is built for off-roading, matches the Abarth Fiat 131, slightly behind the Austin FX4 Taxi and the Vauxhall Insignia VXR, but it still also beats the Ram Rebel TRX Concept, the Volkswagen Baja Bug, Funko Motorsports F9, and the Mercedes-Benz G63 AMG 6x6, all vehicles again that are meant for going off-road. So yeah, fairly decent. It's up there with some of the other vehicles that are meant for going off-road, but compared to to the SUVs and the less than likely other vehicles that have gone on this series that have been quick, like the Lamborghini Urus, Chevrolet Corvette ZR1 and the Citroën DS Racing, it's far off those, which again just goes to show that just because it's meant for going off-road doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be quick on this series, because it's not just about off-road capability on the series, it's also about handling, agility, sometimes lack of weight, as well as a lot of horsepower, but it's mainly down to handling and agility. So that's what it really comes down to in a lot of ways. But then again, a Ford Ranger Raptor, which weighs more than this and didn't have as much power, but is also capable of going off-road, was far quicker than this vehicle. So yeah, it's a weird one with this series. Sometimes vehicles that are meant for going off-road that have less power are quick, whereas ones that are meant for going off-road and have a lot of power aren't quick. So I guess there's a happy medium there between having the right amount of power and the right amount of off-road capability to really going quick. But then you look at Lamborghini Sesto Elemento, which is not meant for going off-road whatsoever, but is really good in terms of handling, really agile, and does have all-wheel drive, and it blitzes this series by going into 5th place. So yeah, it's a weird one, but that's why I like doing this series, because it's never predictable whatsoever. And proven by this, with its rolling over, which is a first really for a proper off-road vehicle. Nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.